record. So what is your exponent rule for multiplying? What do you do with your exponents? You add them. You add your exponents. But it's still a multiplication problem. So your coefficients, you still multiply those. It's still multiplication. You just add your exponents. Okay, so we're going to do that first column there. So looking at this one, it's multiplication. So you do 2 times 7, which is 14, and put x, and then you add your exponents, which weirdly is also 14, but 5 plus 9 is 14. That's just how numbers work, okay? Easy, right? They're like, you just write the answer. There's no steps to the problem. All right, how about this one? -6 times 4. Good, -24. Put x, and then 2 plus 3. Good, nice job. Now there's some things oh, sorry, go ahead. It can, and that's an excellent question. We're going to get to that. That's actually the 4th rule, so hold on a second. Okay, no, really nice. All right, now do you see how there's not a number in front here? What am I going to put? A 1. And do you see how this y doesn't have an exponent? That means it is a 1. Anything that's missing, you can put a 1 in there for that. So 1 times 3, 3. Put x, and then you add the exponents. Just add them together. So 8 plus 10 is 18. And then for y, 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. The math you're doing is 3 plus 1. Right? And then one more of these. Multiplying. -9 times 6. Does anyone know that? Yeah. -54. Do you guys know the finger trick? Like if you want to do 9 times 6, put down your 6th finger, and it's 54. All right. And then what about for x? Add them together. 9, good. 4 plus 5 is 9. And then for y, 11. Good job. All right, so your rule for dividing is you're going to subtract your exponents. So multiplying, you add them, dividing, you subtract. But remember, it's still a division problem. So the coefficients, you still divide those. You just subtract the exponents. It's just the rule for the exponents. So what do you think about this first one? 4. It's with a 4. I allow you to say x4. You get it's x to the 4th, right? Yeah. But like if you say x4, fine, whatever. We're communicating. All right, still division. 36 divided by 4. 12. No. 8. It is 9. You would be allowed a calculator. All right, now little tricky. This is really x with a 1. So good, x with an 11. X to the 11th power is what that means. All right, do the coefficient, then the x, then the y. 20 divided by 4, 5. 5, and then you're going to have x to the what? 3, good. And then, yeah, power of 3. If you say x3, fine, whatever. And then y to the power of 4. Good job. Or, oh, wait, one more. Last one. 6, good. Oh, do you see how it's x to the 3rd and x to the 3rd? 3 minus 3 is nothing. They cancel. They just go away. The most common mistake I get there is people still put an x. If it cancels, it's gone. Don't write it at all. 3 minus 3 is nothing. Bye-bye. Okay, just cancel them out. Don't write anything. And then y, 5. Good job. So yeah, the common mistake is people leave the x in there. If it cancels, it's gone. Just get rid of it. All right, we'll do one more rule and then we'll do our break. So what is your rule for powers then? What do you do with the exponents? You multiply them. So when we multiply, we add our exponents. When we divide, we subtract our exponents. When you have a power to another power, you multiply them. All right. So looking at this one, again, you could use a calculator, but I just want to talk you through it. When you do -4 squared, that means -4 times -4. So what's that going to turn out to be? Close. 16. But the point is it's positive. The negatives canceled out. And then x to the what? If you multiply 7 times 2. 14. Good job. Go ahead and grab a seat and let me finish this and I'll get you your paper. All right, 2 to the third. Again, I don't expect you to have it memorized. You could use your calculator, but it's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. All right, you would have x with what? What do you think? 18. Why is it 18? That's correct. 6 times 3 is 18. Now, do you see how this y doesn't have a power? What does that mean it really is? 1. And so you would do 1 times 3, which is 3. All right, a couple more. 4 squared. 4 times 4. 4 times 4. You could use a calculator for that. All right. And then x what? 3 times 2. 6. Good. And then for y, you're doing 6 times 2, which is 12. Nice. One more. You're going to be okay. It comes from practice. Are you writing this down with me? Can you, are you with me? Oh, I'm just checking that you got it. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, right here. 6 times 3 gives you 18. Oh, I thought you did 6 times 4. No, the rule for your powers is you multiply the exponents together. So it's just 6 times 3. All right, for this one, 3 squared. That's 9. And then for the x, you're doing 4 times 2, which is 8. And 5 times 2 is 10. Good job. All right, so what is the exponent rule for 0? It's going to equal 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. But again, remember, if the 0 isn't over the entire thing, the rest of it's still there. So you just have to be careful. So what do you think for this one? Yeah, good. The only part that goes to 1 is the x to the 0. The rest of it's still there. So do you see how this part is the part that is to the 0 power? That goes to 1, which basically means you can get rid of it. All right. But you have to do the rest of the problem. 5 squared is 25. Good. Now it's really x to the 1. So you would do 1 times 2, which is 2. With the powers, you multiply them. 1 times 2 is 2. How about this one? Now that is just 1. How come? Yeah, the whole thing. Good job. Oh, wait, go ahead. Question? No. All right. For this one, the x to the 0 is the only part that goes away. That's the part that would be 1, which essentially means you can get rid of it. You have to do the rest of the problem. 2 to the third. It means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Again, you could put 2 cubed in the calculator. All right. And then what do you think for y? 8 times 3, which would be 24. Oh, good. You could put 8 times 3 in the calculator too if you needed to know that. All right. So anything to the 0 power is what? 1. So what is your rule for negatives? They change sides. Or you could say they flip. Or it's a reciprocal. Those all mean the same thing, but it's going to switch sides. Usually if you just draw a fraction bar and move it to the other side, that is, in my opinion, the easiest way to get through it. But negatives just swap. If you were one of the people who are going, hey, I'm super confused, pay attention. That's why I don't do one example and go, see ya. That's why we're doing these. All right, they're one-step problems. They don't take but a second. That's why we can get through a bunch of them. So look at this. Go ahead and draw a fraction bar. Yeah, the x squared goes down to the bottom. Now you can't have the numerator just empty like that, so we put a 1. You can't just have it be empty, all right? Come over here, draw a fraction bar, kind of like a line in the sand. Which side, the top or the bottom, wins the tug of war? The bottom, that's where x goes. By how much does it win? 7. And then I have to put a 1 in the numerator because you can't just leave it empty like that. All right, draw a fraction bar. It's like your line in the sand. We're going to decide what goes where. Tug of war. Who wins for x, the top or the bottom? All right, good. You guys are getting it. By 3. Nice job. See, we're getting there. And then y is on the top and it wins by 6. That's it. Cool. Draw a fraction bar. Now the 6 and the 2 are coefficients. It's still a division problem, so you're still dividing. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Some people like to put 3 over 1. You can do that. If you don't want to put the 1, that's fine. Can you look up here? I'm going to have to make you turn your desk if you can't look up here. All right? 6 divided by 2. Okay? Now look, do you see how this is negative? Those are traitors, and they're going to come to the other side. So these 5 are going to come over here and join those 2. So good, 7. Again, you have 2 people on this team and 5 people on this team, but these 5 are traitors and they come over here. Now you have 7. Now this y doesn't have a power. That means it is a 1. So y goes on the bottom by 7. How'd you get 7? Because that's correct. Yeah, 8 minus 1 is 7. Yes.
So like when you do the division like you did in the first step, how do we know which side the number goes on?
That's a good question. Hey guys, if it was 2 over 6, then it would reduce to 1 over 3. But do you see how it was 6 over 2, so it reduces to 3 over 1?
So,
And yeah, you don't have to put this 1 if you don't want to. Okay. All right, thank you. And everyone stayed quiet and listened to the question and the answer. Very good job. All right, here we're going to take everything to the power of 2. 3 squared is not 6. Good, 9. Thank you. This one's actually going to have a second step. We're going to have 2 steps for this problem. I know it's crazy. Now, when you have a power to a power, you multiply. So negative 3 times 2. Negative 6. Good. And then y, you would have 2 times 2 is 4. Draw your fraction bar. Who is the traitor? Good. That has to come down to the denominator. It switches sides because it's negative. Does anything else change though? Like, does this 9 have a problem or the y to the 4th? No, those just stay where they are. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Only the negatives are the traitors. Leave everybody else where they're at. All right, number 7. When you multiply, you add your exponents. This is a little tricky because they're both negative. It's negative 2 plus negative 6. So that would be negative 8. Very good job. Draw your fraction bar. And since that's negative, they go on the bottom. And you have to stick a 1 there because you can't leave it blank. That's not a thing. You can't leave part of it blank, right? Here, a power to a power means you're multiplying. So for the x, you're doing negative 2 times negative 5. Close? 10. Why is it positive? They're both negative. They cancel out. And then for y, what are you going to get? Good. How'd you get negative 20? Because that's correct. 4 times negative 5. Draw your fraction bar. Which ones are the traitors, the x or the y? The y goes down to the other side. They flip because they're traitors. Does the x do anything? No, leave it where it is. It's not broken. Don't fix it. All right. That's 1. 2 to the 3rd. Again, if you don't know that, you could put it in the calculator, but we've done it a few times this block. It's 8. 2 times 2 times 2. And then times 2 again is 8. Yeah. All right. So for x, what do you think? You have a negative 4 times 3. Negative 12. Perfect. And then y, 7 times 3. 21. Good job. Draw a fraction bar. Who are the traitors? Yeah. The x negative 12. So that comes down to the other side. Is anything else a traitor? No. Leave it where it is. If it is not broken, do not fix it.